This video is being recorded at 11:59 a.m. Pacific Time on Sunday, July 31st. So I'm just going to do a quick preview of the setups I see for next week's trading in the Forex markets. So right now it is just a couple hours before the Sydney Open on Monday. So the markets are closed right now. I'm just going to take a look at the weekly charts here. And since July is ending, also take a look at the monthly charts to see where the markets might be going in the broader picture. Okay, so I already screened a few pairs and did some analysis on which currencies may be strong or weak next week. So from what I see, it looks like the trends are still slowing down from the second half of July. As we've seen, the Swiss franc still has potential to be strong. The dollar has been weak the last couple of weeks, and it may continue. If you recall, this past week there was the federal interest rate decision to hike by 75 basis points. So I'll add some comments around that in just a moment from the fundamental side. The euro has also been weak in the second half of July, and that could continue. So let me show a few pairs that I've picked out that's possible to trade for this next coming week. So as you can see here is the weekly chart of the dollar Swiss franc. It's in this consolidation descending triangle right now. As you can see, there's been lower highs made over the last several weeks and the same support at 0.95 holding up. So over the last couple weeks, I did say that maybe the market could be bearish these last 2 weeks, and looks like that has come true. The sellers took it down all the way to the support level. So from now, it could either bounce and continue up to this trend line before hitting resistance again, or it can kind of consolidate and possibly go through the support. And I'll show you what it looks like on the monthly chart. So the monthly chart has been volatile in the last few months. It's tried to test, the higher levels, but it's never been able to make it out of the Ichimoku cloud right here. It's been resisted strongly several times and been pushed back. So on the monthly view, it could potentially retrace another 100 pips or so, or 150 pips, either until the monthly Kijun-sen or the previous wick highs made back in September 2021 and November and also March earlier this year. But I'll show you something interesting on the weekly chart. So my view on this is leaning towards the bearish side. It could break this previous level of support and go down to the next level, which is around 0.936. And the reason I think that is because of the price action formed by the candle this week. If you see carefully, it's actually been able to close into what was previously the wicks in the previous supports. So this is a little bit interesting because it's showing that the buyers are not willing to come in and keep the price above the wick level, which we can say is about at the weekly Kijun-sen of 0.958. So previously, traders were willing to buy anywhere from here, which prevented the weekly candle from closing in this area. So if you call this entire area a resistance zone, we are within the lower parts of this zone right now. So if there's not a strong answer by the buyers in this market, we could potentially see some consolidation. It could go ranging around here, up, down, and then it could eventually break through. It could also happen this week, but we just have to monitor on the daily and lower time frames to see if that comes true. But fundamentally speaking, why this might happen is maybe because the market's thinking the US dollar is going to be weak going forward. As I said, this past week, the Fed did choose to raise rates by 0.75 basis points, not 100 basis points. So the market could be seeing that there is a potential, top in the US dollar, and they're trying to front run the future interest rate hikes and maybe even predict rate cuts going forward. If you pull up a chart of the federal funds rate, I think we're close to the previous high now. So you can see here, we are actually at the exact top, 2.5%. That's what the previous high interest rate was going to be around 2018, 2019. So if you apply some technical analysis towards the federal funds rate, you can see actually that every time the federal funds rate makes a lower high, so the market could be betting we do not pass 2.5 until the Federal Reserve decides to ease interest rates again. There's obviously fundamental reasons why global economies around the world are having lower interest rates, but from a technical perspective, we could also apply it to the fundamental charts here. So that could be a reason why the dollar is set up to go lower. If people are going to trade and guess that the top is in. You can see this in other USD pairs as well. For example, dollar CAD. For the last several months, it's been gradually going up, but always, getting pushed down when it goes to the 1.30 level. So, yeah, in the last few weeks, it's again tried to break above that level. 2 weeks ago, it was sold down, and last week it was sold down again. So we could see more selling until it goes towards this trend line support going up. So maybe another 200 pips or so until we go to the bottom. But dollar CAD is definitely not the most volatile dollar pair right now. For example, if you look at dollar JPY, these last couple weeks were also retracing. So it's hit the Tenkan Sen on the weekly chart and been supported a little bit. So this next week we will see if it continues to be supported and goes up, or if the dollar traders are going to even sell the dollar against the yen and possibly have it go down to 131.3 or the weekly Kijun Sen. And let's look at the monthly chart on dollar JPY. So this one, it's showing a little bit overbought on the monthly time frame. As we can see, it's been resisted and going back, so it could potentially retrace all the way back to 125.98. And that is actually, the previous high back in June 2015 as well. So we're not sure if the dollar strength against the yen will continue or not, but on the weekly time frame, all we can see is it's been retracing. So yeah, I'll have to see on dollar JPY if it's set up for me to buy or sell in the next week. Okay, so yeah, that's some information around the dollar. Let me take a look at the euro pairs, firstly starting with Euro USD. So this one is still trending downwards on the weekly, trending downwards on the monthly. So it did close this month below the previous support level, which was 1.034, and that showed support back in January of 2017 and also March of 2015. So it could continue going downwards, especially because it closed below this level. Yeah, on the weekly chart, it may touch the Tenkan Sen or previous floor at 1.3035 before going down again. But overall, this is bearish in the long term, and I could potentially look at a selling opportunity for this pair. So if you recall, I was also trying to trade Euro Swiss franc in the last few weeks. This matches the Euro USD trade. Swiss franc has actually been holding up a bit better than US dollar, as you just saw on the dollar Swiss franc chart. So either Euro USD or Euro Swiss franc would be good to sell. Weekly is continuously down, and even the monthly chart is trending down. You can see the Tenkan Sen and Kijun Sen are angled downwards. The Kumo is pointing down, and there's no really visible support on the monthly time frame either. There's just this one long wick back in January 2015. So yeah, this could be continuous even further. It's just a little bit hard to capture the Swiss franc strength because it's quite volatile on the daily and lower time frames. I've noticed every time I took a trade in the last few weeks, either I wasn't able to spot the beginning of the trend because it usually starts when I'm sleeping in the London session, and then by the time in the New York session, the traders are closing out their positions and buying them back. So yeah, but I'll keep checking this one. Euro CAD, Canadian dollar has also been relatively strong in the last few weeks. It at least hasn't been going down. So, Euro CAD may be also a good pair to trade to capitalize on the Euro weakness and CAD strength. So for the last couple weeks, this pair has been consolidating. It's been supported at the 1.302 level. But it's still going down in the long term. Monthly chart is even clearer. It's in a downtrend, although we are at the support level made back on April 2015, and also back in 2011, 2010. So yeah, we have to see if this level holds or not. It may consolidate for this next month in August before breaking up or down in either direction. But yeah, if I see the daily break through, I could choose to take a sell chance. In the daily chart, it's actually starting to show signs of going down again. The Kijun Sen has started to angle down because time has passed and it's taking the lower highs from before. And you also can see by the price action, there is a descending trend line that's been resisting the price, and we've been making lower highs on the daily chart. So yeah, there could be a breakout this week. Just have to monitor. Okay. Yeah, so these are the best setups that I've seen. All the other pairs could be retracing. For example, Euro JPY. Yeah, the weekly chart has broken the Tenkan Sen downwards. So if I were to trade this and take a sell, there may be around 180, 200 pips until maybe this next support. So that was also supported back in May this year, and it was resistance before. So that may be a significant level to watch. Yeah, the daily it's technically flat, but you can see the Kumo is set up to twist and indicate it's going down in the longer term. So it could, bounce up and then go down, but it may not happen this week. So I'll just keep watching it for now. Pound USD, yeah, this one is also, it's retraced these last couple weeks, but it's still bearish in the long term for the weekly chart. And the monthly chart, it's actually at monthly support now. So it may be tough for this pair to keep going down. It may bounce and go into a range as on the monthly time frame. Yeah. Then let me see for AUD JPY. Yeah, monthly it's been showing resistance at this 95, 96 level up here. So it could go down this next month down to the previous support level of 87.9. Yeah, the weekly time frame is also showing the same. The uptrend is slowing down, and this week we actually had a close below the Tenkan Sen, so it could go down to the Kijun Sen or the previous support level, and that would actually kind of form a slanted head and shoulders break, because you see this is the shoulder, head, shoulder, and then if you draw a slanted support line, it may break below that and continue lower. But yeah, all the blue pairs that I've tagged here are kind of retracement setups. They're not following the long-term trends, so I would not prioritize them as much, but I'll still be checking them. So yeah, I think August may be, set up for the market to make a decision if it wants to keep following the trends or it's going to end and maybe start a new trend in the other direction. Yeah, I didn't see any other pairs that are set up, so most of these around the euro, dollar, the Swiss franc is probably what I'll be watching.